All right, guys, so in this video, I'm actually going to walk you through exactly the difference between paid pages, free pages when it comes to OnlyFans. Should you do a paid page? Should you do a free page? What do you need to think about? And which option is actually best, or should you do both, right? And we're going to cover everything in this video, and I'm going to make sure that by the end of this video, you'll understand what you should do if you're a creator or an agency starting from scratch with models. So how did this begin? So a couple of days ago, I got reached out by this model who had a free page, and things were dwindling on her page. She used to make about 30k a month. We get lots of creators making about that, reaching out because they want to scale to that 50 or 100k plus, and her income dipped from about 30 to about 3 just with an agency. And so what we did, we came in and did a full audit with her. And so a lot of this discussion, what I'm talking about here, is coming from and stemming from that conversation and that piece of consulting that we offered her before she came on board with the agency, in which we're scaling and now using some of the things I'll talk about. So let's talk about free pages. So free pages, what is that, right? So there's no subscription price. The only way you can make money on these pages is posts, messages, right? In the chatting, you got to make sure that, you know, you're selling content. That's the only way you can actually make money. So what's the strategy? How should you do these free pages? So number one, you need to make sure that, obviously, I mean, regardless of whether it was free or paid, you got to have good traffic coming in, right? So you need to make sure that you're posting content on your social media, getting eyeballs consistently. That's going to allow people to subscribe to the free OnlyFans. Now, because it's free, the barrier to entry is low, right? And there's less friction for people to join. And that's why a lot of free pages, they have anywhere from 20k fans to 100,000 fans or more, right? Now, getting fans is not the hard part, right? The harder part is making money from these fans and dealing with the time wasters. So the key thing, point number one, you need to think about when it comes to free pages is how good is your chatting, right? Because honestly, that's where the money is made. Yes, paid posts, easy to do. Someone just makes content, put it on the post, unlocks it, $10, $20, $50, and you could just have that passively, schedule content, schedule that, or hire someone to do that for you. That's the easy part, but it's in the chatting, right, that matters the most. So chatting wise, and I'm not going to make a chatting video here, I'll have to make a separate one. Got to make sure that, number one, your approach needs to be fast, because almost what you're doing is a filtering game. You're filtering between the time wasters, etc. Yes, of course, build some relationships to a degree, but your approach is going to be a lot more swifter to be able to get straight to like paid messages. And then once you see fans are paying and buying stuff, then you can actually take the time to get to know them, put them in separate lists, and build up better sequences and use scripts to basically, you know, squeeze as much juice from these fans as possible. That's the high level overview. Of course, we'll talk about this for hours and hours on end, but I'm here to just give you guys enough source in this video to just run and make money from this stuff. So yeah, the end goal is to make sure you guys just make as much money as you can possibly from this video. That's why chatting's super important, as the approach of sifting through time wasters and knowing exactly how to do things. Now, obviously it's recommended 24/7 chatting all the time. If you're a model, get an agency that offers that. If you're an agency, hire chatters to make that happen. You might have to do different countries, you might have to whatever, get creative, right? Again, I'll make a separate chatting video to walk through our process when it comes to chatting specifically. So that's the free pages in a nutshell, right? Of course, your feed, right, should be a lot less revealing, a lot more safe for work. So things like your feed should almost look like it's an Instagram feed, or even slightly less. And then obviously in the messages, you should be showing more. Depending on the model, some models like to do sexual stuff, some models don't, and they just want to do hands, bras, right? That's okay, right? But there has to be a clear difference to make people to want to spend the money on the messaging side of things, right? So that's free pages, and you can scale them ridiculously a lot, right? Now, the other side of the spectrum is paid, okay? And paid pages, in my opinion, are what most creators should start with, okay? Why? Easier to scale, honestly, right? You will know, so the amount of time wasters you deal with on paid pages are significantly less than free, right? In comparison, I'm not saying you won't get time wasters, you get less, okay? Secondly, you already know, depending on the subscription price, whether you're selling it at $3, $10, $20 or more, fans are invested somewhat, right? I personally love having $7 subscription price points beyond, because it helps me make sure that my fans, you know, I'm attracting a different type of fan, right? Like, yes, I could do $3 subscription price, but the type of person that's doing that is probably subscribing to 20 different OF girls and isn't really picking one to really go deep with, right? That's the goal. Make your OF so good that a lot of guys want to go deeper and spend a lot of money with you and become your biggest spenders. You know, that's the goal, right? And you can do things like get your fans to pay for things, pay for rent, all this type of stuff. It's all possible if you have the right approach, right? So that's personally why I prefer the paid route as well, because also it means that then when it comes to marketing, I can know whether my marketing is actually doing well, as opposed to, oh yeah, it's just a hot girl and it's free. You know what I mean? Like, I'll know if I'm taking a girl from Instagram Reels, for example, and I'm determining which reel is doing better, I'll be able to know exactly from this, like what exactly reel is performing more, because I'm getting more subs that are paid from it. That's how I would know. And then it just becomes a lot easier for chatters to manage, right? Less fans typically, right? Unless you scale that, right? And honestly, I wouldn't really recommend free. Again, it's mostly paid. Now, if you are, and this is what a lot of the consulting is all about, if you come to us with a free page, right, and you feel capped in any shape or form, launch a paid page, okay? And the strategy, if you do that, is the free page only contains so much. The VIP is for like more intimate, more sexual, more revealing, deeper connections, and you want to separate the content between the two, right? And then just put a better price. Like, don't put $3 or $5, put like $10 for the VIP, right? Discounted, or $7 discounted, for example, right? And then to consistently promote the paid page on the free page, in the messages, in the stories, on your Instagram, whatever. And what you'll find is that you can sometimes double dip fans, right? So fans might be subscribed to both free and paid, and you're making more from the same fan that you wouldn't have been able to do without a free page, okay? And there's a lot more strategies to go through. I'll have to probably make separate videos about this, but that's the overarching theme. Now, if you have a paid page, and let's say you're not making the amount of money that you want to make, and you're asking me, should I do a free page? I'd say no. Why? Because the variable in you not making as much as you want to make is not, oh yeah, I need a new OF page. No. The variable is you're not getting enough fans, right, that actually have the money. Number two, you're not chatting as efficiently as you can to make as much money from those fans. That's it. There's nothing else. Yes, paid posts, whatever, that's a thing. OF streams, yes, that's a thing. But it's simply marketing and sales. That's business in a nutshell. Get good at marketing, get good at sales, you'll make good money, right? So focus on improving your marketing, different channels, different strategies, different this, different that. That is what's going to help you get to if you're stuck at 10K to 50K, if you're stuck at 30K to 70K, right? It's the marketing and the channeling alone. Bring in more chatters, right? All of that matters, okay? So all of this to say, it's not as easy as saying do paid, do free. It depends on the context, right? In summary, if you've got a free page, you're not making as much as you want to be making, put more chatters on, focus on the strategy, make sure there's a difference between the feed and the messages, and then launch a paid page, right? If you've got a paid page, focus on the paid page, okay? Unless you want to get perks from OFTV and all this type of stuff, you don't really need that. Most creators don't need that. Personally, you don't need to do that, all right? Just make sure you're just doing the right things, okay? So that's all for this video. You're going to catch me in the next one. I'll share some more gems. Hope you like this one. Like, comment, subscribe, leave some feedback. What do you want to see more of? What should you have changed? All that lovely stuff, yeah? And I'll catch you guys in the next one.